cheers and welcome my good friends to another weekly edition of Happy Hour with the Lincoln. Let me save you some time. I'm going to ditch the preliminaries this week, and I'm just going to tell you this. I'm here to learn you something, people. Maybe just shed a little bit of light and knowledge and throw it your way in the attempts to become just a little bit more decisive, a little bit more calculated with your decisions, which should lead to at least a little bit more profitability, or at least a step pointing you in the right direction. Now, speaking of trading, as always, if you guys need help with that, I want you to take a moment, visit this link right here, thelincolnlist.com, and you can start trading with us live right away. So here's what I'm going to talk about, and this should be good. Oh, what kind of lifestyle does the professional trader live? I know you see it on the social medias, the Lambos, the sexy models, champagne people. I'm sure you guys think that's what I'm doing. I'm here high atop the mountain in my San Diego palatial pad, throwing $100 bills up in the air, and I'm about ready to take off this afternoon after drinking this scotch and do burnouts in my Lamborghini or one of my Rolls Royces or something like that. You've seen that. You think that, yay? But let me tell you, that's bullshit, and I think you know it. I've already been very vocal about that, because that's not really how most professional traders live. That's how a marketer lives, but that's not how a real professional trader lives. I'll tell you why. One of the things that makes you successful at trading and gets you to where you want to be is making smart, calculated, and intelligent decisions with your money. I mean, isn't that the behavioral trait that every trader needs? In order for you to be successful, you need to search for value in stocks. You need to find the right spot to buy, the right spot to sell. You're always looking for the right type of value. You didn't get to be successful by doing stupid things with your money. If you do stupid things with your money, you end up going broke. Now, if you remember last week's happy hour, this is something I talked about, some of the enemies of people not becoming wealthy. And that's what it comes down to. It becomes a lack of value and a lack of discipline. Because if you run up a bunch of credit card debt, if you buy things that you can't afford, if you stretch your budget, you'll never, ever be rich. So us traders are no different. In fact, I think we're worse because we programmed ourselves to search for value, and we work so hard when it comes to numbers and getting things right. The last thing we want to do is buy a depreciating asset for $350,000. That makes absolutely no sense at all, right? Now, if you're blessed with tons of money, you've got millions upon millions, and you want to throw it around, then fine if that makes you happy. But for the most part, traders like myself and traders that have been doing this for a while, that's not where we want to put our money. We want to put our money in areas where it is going to work for us. That's kind of like, I heard that a while back. I don't know who said it. I'm sure you might know, or you might have heard it. You know, rich is just having money. Wealth is having your money work for you. I think I probably botched that one up like I botched Warren Buffett's quote up last week. But anyway, that's not how a normal trader lives their life. Now, another thing is that I would assume that being a trader lifestyle is because you're an independent contractor, independently contracting yourself, and you are responsible for your own motivations, you're responsible for the outcome of your own business, you are your own boss. That has advantages and disadvantages, and I'm sure that if you've ever run a business before, much of how that works is the same way as trading works as far as the entrepreneurial lifestyle. It's definitely the same like when I own my bike stores and other businesses that I've owned throughout the years when you're being your own boss. And it is a 24/7, 365-day-a-year job. That stuff that you're seeing on social media, like I'm knocking out $500, $1,000 first thing in the morning, and I'm just chilling out on the beach, I'm having a sandwich, maybe playing a little tennis, that's bogus. That's bogus. I'll tell you why, because we're constantly thinking about the next opportunity. One of the things I've always said is that a trader, you're only as good as your last trade. So it doesn't matter what I've done from 20 years ago up to this very point. It doesn't matter how much money I've made. That makes no difference in the grand scheme of things to me. It's nice, but it doesn't make a difference because come Monday morning when I get up, I got to make another trade. I have to do it again. And there was a long period of time where I had to just continue to make money every month because I had no savings and I was just trying to pay bills. So with a trader and just like a regular business person, you constantly have to get up every day and reprove yourself all over again. And sometimes you have to reinvent yourself. Sometimes you have to change your whole thoughts and your processes and your behaviors. But I've always said you're only as good as your last trade. And you have to come up with another one, you know, because your career is based on thousands upon thousands of good, smart, quality trades, non-emotional decision type trades. That's how you're going to get rich, not off of just one lucky play. Most likely that's not going to happen. So with that, you're 24/7, 365. I'm always thinking about everything in my business. I mean, everything. I'm thinking about every trade I made that day, every trade I made that week, the worst trades I made, the bad trades I made. Even when I'm out enjoying a hobby. And this is the truth. I mean, I know you see them out there eating the sandwiches and playing the tennis, but even in those situations when I'm riding my bike or I'm camping or backpacking or going to the gym, I'm still thinking about what the hell did I do? Now, if you remember, I did a happy hour a little while back. It was about the miserably successful trader. And I think that's one of those reasons is because we have that type when you're in a competitive career and you're competitive with yourself and you've set this standard for yourself or where you think you should be, you're constantly trying to achieve that. Then when you get to that, you just raise the bar for yourself. So there's never this moment where you're done improving. You're just sit back, relaxing, and collecting checks. You're just constantly, trying to get better and get better over and over again. But I'm always thinking, excuse me, even when I'm doing hobbies, I'm still using 60 to 70% of my brain while I'm doing the hobby. I'm still thinking about trades. I'm still thinking about, I wonder if Netflix is going to bounce off of X amount of money on Monday. I wonder if this thing is going to reject at this price. I want to go look at these charts. Now, one of the other things is because we're always working at home, that's a great benefit. You always think, hey, it's great. You don't have to deal with traffic. You don't have to go through all this other stuff. And it is a major benefit. But there's also a downside to that. And that's the fact that you're always home in front of your computer empire, right? It's always here. So it's like, I could be out in the yard just like cutting weeds and I'm thinking, Jesus, I think I missed something on that trade. And I'll just drop my weed eater and run in the house and I'll just start looking up stocks. And then sometimes I'll do that for hours upon hours. Sometimes I can't sleep. You get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you just come up here, you start looking at all of these charts and you start running and I write things down in a book like this. I've been doing it for years. I've got like 70 of these notebooks with trades. I write them on Post-it pads here all over the place like this. I got them on Post-it notes, ideas. They just come up. I'm just writing shit down over and over again. And I think in order for you to be successful, I don't mean to sound loony, but I've often believed, excuse me, I got ranting, I can't speak. You have to be obsessed in order to be successful. Like it has to become the #1 priority. If you just want an easy, smooth lifestyle, you got to pick something else besides trading. That's what bugs me about the whole marketing thing. It's never easy. It's never easy. It never works like it says it works in a technical analysis book. You don't just draw a freaking trend line and it always bounces off of a trend line. There's all kinds of other variables. It's just never that cut and dry when it comes to it. So if you want an easy life, just get a 9-to-5 that pays a pretty good wage, tosses you some health insurance, work your life and get your lifestyle down to like a 1-bedroom apartment. Just kick it. Kick it. That's all you got to do. But if you're trying to get more, then that's where it comes from. And for most of us that do this, and all entrepreneurs alike, our natural nature and the reason that we get into this business is because we are competitive, whether we're competitive with other people but mostly because we're competitive with ourselves, because we're wanting more. And in order for you to get more, the word easy just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Easy and more doesn't work unless you want more easy. I think you know what I mean. So there's obviously a big misconception. There are many great benefits that our career gives us. It does give us freedom. It does give us flexibility. Yes, I've said you can always go, like I've done it before. I've taken my income with me and traveled. I actually kind of hate that. I know a lot of other people promote that. I actually hate it because I'm like, geez, you know, you should be on vacation. You spend all this money to go on vacation. Maybe you should leave the damn computer at home and take a break. You know, the market will be there when you get back. But again, we're kind of obsessed. So it's like, you don't trade and, you know, trade and travel, like they say, trade and travel. You never really do that. You're either trading or you're traveling. You can't do them both at the same time, so to speak. So it does have its disadvantages, like I said, working at home. And one of the other things that are interesting is because that I've developed over the years, and I think this happens with a lot of people that own their own business, you realize how everything becomes your problem. So when I first started my own business and I was in charge of people, I realized that everything was my problem, from the highest decision all the way to what kind of coffee is in the coffee machine. Is this person's chair comfortable enough for them so they won't bitch at me about their bad back? Like every single thing that went on in the office was your problem. So everything that goes on in your business is your problem. Everything that goes on with the market is your problem. That's what it says. It's a 24/7 continual cycle. And one of the things it's done for me is it's made me, because like I said, our job relies on value. So when you become successful at trading, you've developed this sense of numbers, of value and price. And it sticks in your head. It's all about value. It's all about price. It's all about what people are willing to pay. And everything is a value decision, becomes a value decision in your life. So for example, for me, everything is numbers. So I don't leave the house very often, or I don't do a whole lot of driving just on the weekend. But I hadn't been to a gas station in like 2 weeks. So I roll up there yesterday and it's like, Jesus, gas is $4.20 a gallon for the cheap stuff? So it's like, you know, I'm now evaluating, like, no, $4.20 isn't going to kill my pocketbook. I'm not going to be broke from buying the gas. But you're like, damn, that's awful high. Jesus, wasn't it like $3.70 a week or so ago or something? Anyway, it bugs me. So it bugs me bad enough that regardless of how much money I've paid in my career and all the stuff that I've done, I'm like squirting little bits of gas. I'm like, how much do I need to get to next week to maybe that'll drop 25 or 30 cents, right? I know it's obsessed. It's stupid sometimes, but you're like, hey, everything's of value. You know, I'm in the market. I'm watching oil prices. I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe we can, you know. But everything in the you know, everything that's ever presented to me and everything that I'm ever looking at, everything I'm ever thinking, it's all about a number. It's all about a price. So yes, living this lifestyle, it's amazing because although it has its downfalls, which I curmudgeon about on many occasions, it has things that you just can't find anywhere else. At least I'm not sitting at someone else's desk, building their dream, having them bitch in my ear all day long about my work performance, or bullying me around, or sitting next to a coworker that stinks or burps all the time and drives me crazy. At least I'm building my own dreams. At least I am responsible for everything that's in front of me. It's all on me. It's mine. And I want you guys to think that way too. It's yours. Even if it's not so damn good right now, it's still yours. It's your pile of crap. And that's your pile of crap is better than working from somebody else's pile of crap. So yeah, it's the great job. I love it. I'll always be doing this no matter how much I bitch about it. But on the flip side, there are things that are just not brought up when you first do that. Things that you don't think about. That's what my job is. I always say if I can prepare you a little bit better for the journey ahead and kind of just share the things that are going on in my brain, that maybe it'll just help you make the right decisions. It'll help you when you come to that fork in the road with your trading career. It'll help you make the right calls. So anyway, guys, I think I've ranted enough. I have not touched this whiskey yet. I think it's about time. Anyway, as always, if you guys need help, you know how to find me. Thanks for watching this week's Happy Hour. Until the next one, cheers.